Hariom, welcome back. So let's have a strong female voice start reading the manual. Strong female voice, go straight ahead. From page 3. Of all necessities in life, you have to unmute.
I can go ahead. If you...
Okay, go ahead.
It's a Brazilian accent, I apologize. Of all the necessities in life, breathing is the most immediate. If you are a reasonably healthy person, you can probably go for about 6 weeks without food and for a few days without water. But without breathing, you will not survive for more than a few minutes. Your breath is the most intimate companion on your journey through life. You begin to breathe a moment after you were born, and someday you will expire with your last exhalation. In between, your breath is with you wherever you go.
So my teacher used to have a phrase, from the womb to the tomb. Yeah. You will always be breathing, right? What you do with your breaths, either raise your vibration or bring your vibration down. So the breath, everyone understands it, right? But we seldom live by it. Every human you meet, right? 8 billion of us, we know the breath is the backdrop to life. But we so much are cultured to ignore the breath. You meet someone on they're on the hospital and they can't breathe, and you offer them a beautiful slice of New York cheesecake or an oxygen tank, which one would they go for? The oxygen tank, right? So that's the fundamental. So we're just retraining the mind. Yes, let's get back to the breath. Continue.
Sorry, I just closed. Your breath is nearer to you than anything else, and dearer to you than your wealth and the people you love the most. For if you lose your breath, you lose everything.
Right? So we have so many important things in our life. Our family members are important. Every one of us can agree, yes? Our economic development is important. We can all agree, right? We have to pay bills, so that's important. What else is important in our life? Let's hear some of the important things. Let's go around the room. Have fun. Carl, what's an important thing in your life?
Relationships.
Relationships, very good. Helene.
Shelter.
Shelter, right? It need to be shelter from the sun, from the snow, from the right. That's important. Good. Sarah.
Animals.
Animals are important for you. Beautiful. Thank you. Gina.
Sense of purpose.
Sense of purpose is important for you, right? That has to be there. Good. With
Learning.
Learning. Beautiful. It's important. We have to learn, want to learn more. Good. Ari.
Sorry, I'm reading the new manual and making noise.
That's okay.
The health of my kids is my constant.
Yes. That's a mother, right? The health of my kids. That's important. Good. Thank you. Nadine,
My yoga practice.
your yoga practice is important. Good. Luna,
The right to express myself.
the right to express myself, right? We need that right. Good. Becky,
And being able to care for plants.
being able to care for plants. That's important, right? We depend on them. They provide the oxygen. Sorry, thank you. Brenda,
My community is important.
your community is important. Yes, the Sangha. Harold,
Breathing.
sorry.
Breathing.
Reading is important. Learning, right? Reading, learning, good. Richard,
Connection to others.
connection to others is important. Good. David,
Emotional stability.
emotional balance is important. Yes. Jennifer, unmute.
Spiritual connection.
Spiritual connection. Good. It's important. Jade,
My home being tidy and clean.
a clean home is important. Good. So we can see all these are very important for us, and we have to facilitate those. But all those would be zero if the breath is not there. So we want to restructure our priorities. Spend a little time with the breath will help those other relationships, those other things to be even more refined. If we spend time refining the breath, our relationships get better. Our communication with other people get better. All those start to fall in place. But most humans today, we forget that first domino. And then the other just, but if you spend time with the breath, amazing how the others transform as well. Continue, Luna.
Sorry. Benefits of better breathing. Good breathing is healthy breathing. It helps to maintain and improve both your general physical health and your mental and emotional well-being in the following ways.
Okay, stop right there. So we have the koshas, the sheet you draw. So we have the physical body. We have the astral body. The mind is here. The body is here, physical. What's the bridge? The breath, the pranamaya kosh. So the pranamaya kosh, if this is evolving and is flowing through us gracefully, the body will be healthy. The mind, right? All the emotional stability will be easier to balance. So this is a far out experience. When I learned, I was like, wow, if I can connect my mind to the breath, the mind gets peaceful. If I breathe slowly and control when needed, my physical body gets benefit as well. And so when you do yoga poses, right, your physical body is moving through the poses and you're breathing differently in every pose. Because different poses, you have to breathe sometimes shallow, sometimes long, sometimes your breathing pattern changes in the poses. So the detoxification of the body, along with the detoxification of the mind, and the prana. Keep going.
Boosts your energy and stamina, counters tiredness, and can lessen your need for sleep. Relieves tension in your body and enhances your ability to deal with pressure and stress. Brings a sheen of vitality to your complexion and eyes. I like this one. Boosts your immunity and releases chemical that promotes healing. Increases your powers of concentration and clear thinking. brings calmness and mastery of your emotions, and maximizes verbal delivery by strengthening your voice and clarifying your thinking.
Right. So many good benefits if we learn to refine our breathing, right? And that's what we say, right? So many people are breathing, but how to consciously breathe, how to affect the breathing. This is what the journey is about. Keep going.
Your respiratory system stretches from your nose to your lungs, encompassing your nasal passage and sinus cavities. The back of your throat, or pharynx, I don't know how to say that in English. Your voice box, larynx, is that correct? Windpipe, the trachea, bronchial tubes, and lungs. It serves to life-giving purpose, bringing oxygen into your body and releasing waste matter, and enables our uniquely human quality, your ability to speak. Each time you inhale, your respiratory system fulfills its function, bringing atmospheric air into your lungs. The oxygen within this air is absorbed into your bloodstream and then transported to every cell in your body. Without this oxygen, your cells would die in a few minutes. The second task of your respiratory system is cleansing. Each time you exhale, you release gaseous waste matter from your body, mainly byproducts of metabolism. As you breathe out, air passes over your vocal cords, allowing you to express yourself through your own unique sound. In no other body system does the outside environment, with all its germs and pollution, have so much contact with your sterile inner regions.
Good. So the respiratory system does two things. Brings in fresh prana, oxygen with oxygen and nitrogen and all that. And it cleanses us, metabolism, right? And then it releases toxins. So in the Gita, Krishna says, of the purifiers, of everything that purifies, I am the wind, I am the prana. So this is how we detoxify the body, along with perspiration, along with urination, along with evacuation. There's so many ways to detoxify the body, right? So the breathing, whenever you're exhaling, constant detoxification is taking place. Amazing. And for us to voice our sacred sound, right? Every one of us have a voice tone. So God gave us, engineered us with a voice box. And you can speak and sing and have a conversation with another living entity because of the voice box and the air that's pushing out, right? Amazing how our body is built. Come on, good. Keep going.
Your nose and sinuses. The nose is the first part of your body to engage with breathing, and it also plays an important protective role in your survival. As the seat of your olfactory mechanism, your most primitive sense, smell, it warns you of impending dangers. Also, nature has also designed it as the ideal mechanism for filtering incoming air to protect the delicate lining of your lungs. Each nostril leads to an air passage separated by a bony structure made of cartilage called the septum. The internal portion of your nostrils is lined with cleans the air with microscopic hairs known as cilia. When you breathe through your nose, these filters cleanse the air you inhale of dust, pollen, airborne germs, and pollution. If you breathe through your mouth without these filters, you may suffer suffer a dry mouth, sore throat, or catch a cold as a result. You should therefore only breathe through your mouth when a cold obstructs your nostrils or when you need more air than your nostrils can comfortably inhale, such as when running.
So it's amazing. We can breathe through the nose. We can also breathe through the mouth, right? Like a big volume of air, especially if you're running or if you're like, I have a cold, right? So I can take more air through the mouth. Later on in the training, I'll show you how you can take air through the ears and eyes and the skin. All of them can do it. But these are the two that gives us the most, the nose and the and the mouth. Let's have a strong male voice. Strong male voice. Thank you, Luna. Strong male voice. Continue reading.
I got it. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Go straight ahead.
Where we at? Running.
Yeah.
Your throat, lungs, and chest. After the air has entered your nasal passage, it moves down the back of your throat, pharynx, and past your larynx. This voice box contains your vocal cords and muscles that work together to produce sound. Air then descends into your trachea or windpipe, which divides into 2 bronchial tubes. From here on, your respiratory system resembles 2 bunches of grapes. Each bronchial tube subdivides, becoming smaller until the passage consists of no more than a single layer of cells. Each passage ends in a tiny air sac called an alveolus. Your lungs are composed of millions of these microscopic grape-like sacs. The membrane enclosing each one comprises a thin layer of cells surrounded by a network of capillaries, small blood vessels. Here, the all-important gaseous exchange takes place. The floor of your chest cavity is formed by a domed muscle, which is known as the diaphragm. This muscle separates the chest cavity from your abdominal cavity.
Good. So we're taught this in primary school, right? We all have this subconscious knowledge of the windpipe, the bronchioles, the lungs, right? It's already there in our consciousness. As you study and start to breathe and meditate on it, it becomes even more realistic for us rather than ethereal. Keep going.
Gaseous exchange. The average adult at rest breathes 15 to 18 times per minute. With each inhalation, you draw approximately half a liter, 1.75 pints of air into your lungs. Every time you exhale, an equal amount of air is expelled. The air you inhale comprises about 79% of nitrogen, 20% oxygen, and 0.04% carbon dioxide, with traces of other gases and water vapors. The air you exhale contains the same amount of nitrogen, but the oxygen content falls to 16% and the carbon dioxide rises to 4%. So the most significant change between breathing in and out is the exchange of 4% oxygen for 4% carbon dioxide. Oxygen from the body you inhale passes into your capillaries through the thin porous membranes of your alveoli.
Good.
Alveoli.
Yeah. Stop right there. Pause right there. So when we go to school, what do they teach us? We breathe in what? It's not a wrong statement, but it's an incomplete statement. They tell us we breathe in what?
Oxygen.
And you exhale?
Carbon dioxide.
But we can see we breathe in more nitrogen than oxygen. So why do they teach us in school we breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide? Because the level of nitrogen that we breathe in is the equal amount of nitrogen we exhale, so that cancel out itself. What changes is the level of the percentage of oxygen in and the percentage of carbon dioxide out. That changes. So that's why when they say, oh, you breathe in, it's not just oxygen, so many other gases as well. But that's what changes. So the nitrogen and all those nullify themselves, and then we just have a difference in oxygen and carbon dioxide. Continue.
Tiny air sacs. Simultaneously, carbon dioxide from the blood moves into the air sacs to be breathed out. After your blood has been oxygenated in your lungs, it travels to your heart and is pumped around your body, delivering oxygen and nutrients to every cell, where it picks up the gaseous waste products of metabolism, including carbon dioxide, and takes them to your lungs, ready to be exhaled.
Good. So you have this powerful organ here. We call it the heart. But the heart depends on the lungs. So the blood capillaries wrapping around the alveoli, right, transport that oxygen to every cell of the body. And then transport the carbon dioxide back out. And then when the heart beats, boom, we exhale it out through the lungs, through the nostrils. So let's get your pen and paper. This is an assignment I want you to do today. I want you to ask 3 fellow humans, be family members, friends, even yoga teachers. Right? This is your question you ask them. How many breaths does a human take in one day? And when you ask them, I want you to look on their facial expression. It's amazing, right? It's the most important thing to us. It's the backdrop to our life. Yet we don't know how many breaths we take in one day. So the yogis, they actually sat down with the breath. I got the number, I learned the number theory, but I put it into practice. Once a week, I used to sit, I'm trained to sit still for 24 hours, right? It took me 2.5 years before I could do it. I would sit the first time, I remember I lasted like 12 minutes, my neck, my back, my knee, everything ached. Get out. Every week we tried, but I was inspired because I had some of my friends, they were younger than me. They were like 14, 15. They could sit cross-legged the whole time, 24 hours. I was like, wow, how did they do that? So I got inspired. Now, once I was able to sit still for 24 hours, one of the techniques I was given was to count the number of breaths every hour. And I counted. Now, remember, it's for 24 hours, so you can't do this, watch it. You can't doze off. Because we used to have we always call it a lota, a pot with water on the head, right? Keep your spine tall, so you stay with it. When I came out of my practice, I was short of the number by 60 breaths. So let's calculate it, everyone. In one breath, sorry, in one minute, human in average health should roughly have around 15 breaths per minute. 1 minute, 15 breaths. We have a mathematician in the group with us today. Any mathematician without the phone? Any mathematician? So there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. Can someone tell us how many breaths on an average we should take in 1 hour? Anyone?
I calculated 900.
900. Let's put it.
Mathematician.
1 hour, 900 breaths.
You have 1,000.
Okay, no calculator this time. No calculator this time. So there's 24 hours in a day, how many breaths on an average should a human take if we take 900 breaths in an hour?
23,900 for a day.
No.
20,800.
Close.
21,006.
Thank you, Harold G. Write this down. 21,600 breaths in one day. Wow. On an average, right? And this is for someone who's very relaxed. If we're living in New York City or in New Delhi, no, we're breathing like 25,000 breaths. That's natural if you're in a big city, right? But if you're at home and you're just relaxing, you should take an average of 21,600 breaths. So when I sat down to count my breath, I was 21,540. I counted. Then my teacher pulled me up and said, oh, 24. I was like, so I was breathing a little slower than normal. So when I read it first in all the yogic texts, it tells you that's theory. But the yogis, we don't just live on theory. We want to experience it. Yeah. So let's have a little fun. I'm going to put my stopwatch and you'll see. You will naturally, because we're aware of the breath, you will naturally start to breathe slower than 15 breaths in a minute. So we're going to close the eyes. I'm going to time it. I'm going to give you 1 minute, and I want you to, so every inhalation and exhalation, that's 1. So we're going to see how many breaths you do in 1 minute. Yes, good. Let me put on my alarm, my stopwatch. Close the eyes softly. Inhale, exhale slowly, and bring the breath to normal. Normal breathing. Start counting your breaths now. Stop counting now. Good. Open the eyelids. Jade, how many breaths?
17.
17. Good. Jennifer.
14.
14. Good. David.
14 and a half.
14 and a half. Good. Whit.
Right on 15.
Right on 15. Good. Sarah.
13.
13. Good. Helene.
11.
11. Good. Kyle.
10.
10. Good. Becky.
12.
12. Good. Luna.
I counted 8. I don't know if I counted
Yeah,
wrong.
no, that's good. You just counted slower. That's fine. Good. Nadine. Unmute.
My screen froze. Did you call me? I had 14.
14 breaths. Good. Thank you. All right.
14.
14, good. Richard?
15.
15, good. Harold?
12.
12, good. Brenda?
16.
16. So we can see, right? On an average, most of us around 15. So in one day, 21,600 breaths. Ask 3 humans that question today and look at their facial expression and the answer they give. Some people will be, oh yeah, about 3,000. Oh, maybe 50,000. It's amazing the answers you're going to get back, right? Because no one ever sits with the breath. And so it's the most important thing, right? If one morning you get up and you turn on your computer and you get 21,600 emails, I mean, something is very important, right? So it's connecting with the breath. Keep going. Let's have a strong female voice, strong female voice. Another strong female voice.
I'll do it. So we're on page 9 at the top.
Yes, at the top.
Relative rates of breathing and lifespan, approximate number of breaths per minute, average life expectancy. A hare is 55 per minute, and their life expectancy is 10 years. Human being, 15 to 18 per minute, 70 years. A tortoise is 3 to 5 per minute, 193 years.
Wow, that's far out, isn't it? So the faster we breathe, life expectancy gets shorter. The slower you breathe, your life expectancy goes longer. So the yogis, they figured this out. And that's why we can add time on our life. Sometimes I see, once I was living in Hong Kong and I saw a yoga poster in the studio that I worked at. Yoga for longevity, right? And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking they're going to teach some breathing exercises and all that. So then I approached the teacher. I said, what are you going to teach in the class? Oh, a lot of warriors, a lot of challenging poses. And I'm like, but you'll be breathing shallow, right? Yeah, we'll be shallow. So that's going to decrease. So it's amazing. If you want to expand longevity, yes, yoga for longevity means slow the breath down. And that's why when we do yoga classes, what do? Up dog, down dog, mountain pose, warrior pose, all these poses. But what is our final pose?
Shavasana.
So Shavasana balances us out. So when we're doing the poses, the breath is shallow in some poses, but in Shavasana, we start to breathe back slowly. And then it slows down the mind, slows down the brain activity. And then when you come out of your Shavasana, then you go into your Pranayama and meditation. Then you start to even slow it down more. So we're going to do another practice today. You just remember what you just did. So now I want you to slow the breath down as much as you can. See how many breaths you can do slowly in 1 minute. Good. Bring the spine tall. Close the eyes. Inhale. Exhale slowly. And start breathing slowly now for 1 minute. No strain, your slow pace, your pace. No comeback. You're not retaining the breath. You're just breathing in slowly and you're breathing out slowly. Bring the breath to normal now. Remember your number. Just gaze into the center of your eyebrows, and you should witness your mind is much quieter. Very good. Open the eyelids. Welcome back to this dimension. Brenda, how many breaths in 1 minute?
2.
2. How was your mind in the end?
It was quiet.
Amazing. It works. Harold, how many breaths?
The same, 2 breaths.
How was the mind space?
Extremely quiet.
Richard, how many breaths in 1 minute?
1.5.
1.5. How was the mind space?
Sweet.
All right. How many breaths?
I had 4.
4. Good. How was the mind space?
Nice.
Quiet. Nice. Good. And Nadine, how many breaths?
I had 6, but my mind space was very good.
Good. And how was the mind space?
Yeah, it was good. I saw white light at the end.
Yes, it gets calm and quiet. Good. Luna, how many breaths?
4.
And how was the mind space?
Very quiet.
Yes, the breath affects the mind, right? Just by controlling the breath, slowing it down. Becky, how many breaths?
3.
How was the mind space?
It was quiet.
Good. Kyle, how many breaths?
5.
Good. How was the mind space?
Cozy.
Cozy. Good. Helene, how many breaths?
3.
And how was the mind space?
Wonderful.
Amazing. Sarah, how many breaths?
4, and it was
Oh,
calm.
Yes, right. Good. Gina, how many breaths?
I also had about 1.5, and mind space was calm but very colorful.
Calm and colorful. Good. Wait, how many breaths?
It's 6 breaths.
6 breaths. How was the mind space?
Oh,
Yes, calm. Good. David, how many breaths?
7 breaths.
How was the mind space?
Very exhausted. Very tired.
Tired. Good. Jennifer, how many breaths?
4.
How was the mind space?
Quiet.
Good. Jade, how many breaths?
6, and I was sleepy.
Sleep. Okay. That means the left nostril was opening up. Good. But we can see, right? Our breath can affect the physical body. When we breathe, we can speak, we can run, we can do so many things when we're breathing. But not just the physical body, the anamaya kosh. The manamaya kosh, the breath can affect as well. As you slow the breath down, the mind gets sweet, cozy, colorful. What else did we hear? Nice, peaceful, right? So this is how we are going to work with the koshas when we connect the mind to the breath. As we go along, we're going to slow the breath down more and more and more. So we're going to end with one last practice today. This practice is connecting us to our parasympathetic nervous system, to kick in, to let it become more predominant. As humans, little babies, all of us used to do this. If you see a little baby breathe, what are they doing?
Belly
Breathing.
breathing.
Belly breathing, right? Belly comes way up, belly goes down because there is no stress, no anxiety, just freedom. So we all used to breathe like that. Now, as we start to grow and thoughts come in and emotions come in, our body is engineered to do thoracic breathing, chest breathing. We need to do chest breathing to cope with the emotions that we discussed earlier. And then sometimes we do clavicle breathing. If you're an athlete, if you run like a 60 meter, 100 meters, you lean over at the end and they all shoulder breathing. That helps them, the rate of oxygen and carbon dioxide to get back to normal. Otherwise, lactic acid, the combustion of the oxygen, lactic acid develops. So the yogis understood, wait. I can breathe at my clavicle without being an athlete who's stressing for air. I can breathe at my chest without being a human adult with stressed out emotions. I can breathe at my abdomen without being a baby. So they were going to go through that practice right now. And it's very beautiful just to slow the parasympathetic nervous system. Let the parasympathetic nervous system kicks in. So let's stretch the legs out and wiggle the legs, cross the legs back if you're sitting cross-legged. If you're sitting on the chair, make sure the spine is tall as possible. Bring the palms on the knees. You can remove the glasses on the side, touch the tip of the thumbs, tip of the index fingers. Close the eyes softly. Jennifer, do you mind to mute your computer? Thank you. Cheers. As you close the eyes, bring your awareness to the breath at the entrance of the nostrils. Feeling it moving in and out. The yogis and our Western scientists recognize our lungs have different ranges, the lower lobes of the lungs, middle lobes of the lungs, upper lobes of the lungs. The human adult mostly breathe from the middle lobes. It's natural for us to breathe with the middle lobe so we can cope with the emotions that are coming in and out regularly, constantly throughout the minute, throughout the hour, throughout the day. We're going to start off with the lower lobes of the lungs, abdominal breathing. Inhale slowly, move the navel out, 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 exaggerate it. And as you exhale slowly, move the navel backwards as far as you can to the spine, exaggerate it. Inhale, tummy moves out, exaggerate it. Exhale slowly, exaggerate how far you can push the navel back. Continue at your pace for the next couple minutes. Abdominal breathing. Now we'll move into thoracic breathing. After the next exhalation, move the consciousness to the chest, relax the abdomen. And this time, as you inhale slowly, Exaggerate how far you can lift the rib cage up, 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 and out. Exaggerate it, exaggerate it. The middle lobes of the lungs. As you exhale slowly, let the rib cage deflate in and down. Inhale slowly, let the intercostal muscles expand, 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 open the rib cage. And as you exhale slowly, let the rib cage deflate. Continue at your pace for the next couple minutes, ventilating the middle lobes of the lungs. Excellent. Now bring your awareness back to the abdomen. And this time we're going to breathe with the lower lobes and the middle lobes. We're going to put 50% of the air initially in the abdomen, the next 50% of the air in the chest region. Move with me, my pace. Inhale slowly, push the navel out, out, out. Pull the navel back in to the spine, but keep inhaling, expand the rib cage up, 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 and out. Exhale slowly, the rib cage deflates down and in. Inhale slowly, navel out. Pull the navel back in, keep inhaling, move the air into the chest, open the rib cage up and out. Exhale slowly, chest down and in. Continue at your pace for the next couple minutes, breathing in and out with the abdomen and the chest. Lower lobes, middle lobes. After the next exhalation, we're going to do the yogic breath. The yogic breath is utilizing the full range of the lungs to breathe. We'll do the same thing as we just did, abdominal followed by thoracic, and then we're going to add clavicle breathing to it. Move with me, my pace. Initially, as you inhale, navel out, pull the navel back in, keep inhaling, expand the rib cage up and out. When you can't put any more air in the rib cage, lift your shoulders slightly up towards the ears, clavicle breathing. You'll be able to get a bit more air in the shoulders. Exhale, slowly release the shoulders, chest down. Inhale slowly, navel out. Pull the navel back in, keep inhaling, open the rib cage. When you can't put any more air in the rib cage, lift the shoulders up towards the ears gently, get a bit more air. Exhale slowly. Shoulders fall, chest falls down and in. Continue at your pace for the next couple of minutes. The yogic breath, abdominal, thoracic, clavicle breathing, using the full range of the lungs to breathe, your pace. No rush, take your time. After you complete the next exhalation, bring your breath back to normal breathing. And take your gaze into the center of the eyebrows and just witness your mind. Using the concentration power of your mind and the intellectual, the Vigyan Maya Kosh, I want you to imagine your beautiful nose. You've seen your nose many times in the mirror. Witness how your nose look. Grateful for the nose. Grateful for the cilia, the hair which diffuses the pollen, the germs, keep it out. Grateful for the hair. Take your awareness and imagine the windpipe at the back of the throat as it comes down the trachea. Grateful for your trachea. See the chakra branches out into a V shape into the bronchioles. Grateful for the two bronchioles. See your left lung and see from the bronchiole, it opens up into like these vines of grapes, the alveoli, thousands upon thousands of small air sacs, and see them expanding as you inhale. And as you exhale, they get smaller. And around the alveoli, the air sacs, there are capillaries, which takes the fresh oxygen into the bloodstream and return the carbon dioxide. See the capillaries wrapping around the air sacs. Grateful for the capillaries. Take your awareness to your right bronchiole. See it branching out from the windpipe. Grateful for the right bronchiole. See it connecting to the lung, right lung. And in the right lung, we see thousands upon thousands of alveoli around the ear sacs as they close and expand. The capillaries are wrapping around. Now in the center of the chest, see your beautiful heart. See it beating. And now feel, see if you can find your heartbeat. Dum, dum, dum. The heart beats the fresh prana and oxygen around the body. The heartbeat returns the used prana, and carbon dioxide and toxins out of the lungs. Grateful for the heart. Imagine your amazing rib cage, the breastbone, the backbone, and all the ribs that protect the internal organs in the thoracic cavity. Grateful for the breastbone, grateful for the rib cage. In between the ribs, you can imagine your beautiful intercostal muscles. From the time you're in your mother's womb as a little baby, those muscles have been working up to today. Grateful for the intercostal muscles as they expand when you breathe. They contract when you exhale. The lungs are separated from the liver and the stomach by the diaphragm. Grateful for the diaphragm as it flattens as you inhale. Dome shapes as you exhale. See if you can imagine the whole respiratory tract from the nostrils to the diaphragm, the lungs, alveoli, the trachea, bronchioles. See if you can see one beautiful image of it. Grateful for the respiratory tract. I want you to let that image go. And in your mind, I want you to mentally formulate a phrase of something you're going to do to raise your prana over the next 3 weeks. Maybe being a vegetarian for 2 days, maybe removing sugar from the diet, whatever you choose. Drink more pure water. Contemplate something you can do to raise the prana in the system. When you find what you're going to do, mentally repeat that phrase 3 times in the mind now. We're good. And now bring your awareness back to the breath. Take a deep inhalation. As you exhale, let's chant the together once. Om. Bring the palms to the heart. Lower the brain, the skull towards your higher self, the Atma, which is witnessing the breath, witnessing the mind. Namaste. Lift the head, open the eyes. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you all so much for your wonderful time. Spend more time with the breath today, because the breath will never leave us. The breath never ignores us. So you can come back to it from time to time throughout the day. Ask 3 humans how many breaths they take in a day. And just have fun, right? It's just to see the relationship with fellow humans and the breath. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, same time. Again, thank you so much, Jade. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, David. Thank you, Gina. Thank you, Whit. Thank you, Orit. Thank you, Nadine. Thank you, Luna. Thank you, Becky. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you, Harold. Thank you, Richard. Hariom, that's spend time with the breath. Fall in love with the breath.
Thank you, Shrew.
Thank you.
Too. Thank you, everyone.